All right, so good morning. One of the first things I want to bring up real quick is I have restructured the way that Schoology is up over here. If you take a look, what I've done now is I've actually gone through, and since we're going to be here for a while, we now know that, until the end of April, what I did was I reorganized each one of our folders. And so what I did was I took our first week or two of classes and I gave them their own folder. And then from the week after that, their own folder. This week is currently, I don't know if you can see it clearly, but as of right now, you can see it's the April 6th to 10th folder, and that has our Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Next week, I will have the new day by day posted, but towards the end of the week, I'll slide them into their own folder too, just so we can keep things better organized. And you don't have to like scroll down 3 pages in order to reach, April 27th or whatever. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what's coming up next week. So, next week is the end of our marking period, and that's going to be important because we're going to be grading this one entirely digital. For the people who have been around getting work in, that is great, phenomenal, wonderful. For those who haven't been keeping up with it quite as much, I need them by Friday. Get them turned into me, some copy, somehow by Friday. If you have work that or you haven't been able to do it on Cami or one of those programs off Schoology, and instead you have physical copies that you need to like hand to me and give me, there are two different possibilities, three different possibilities. Number one, arguably the easiest one: take a picture of every single page, send me the pictures. Option number two, you could also take that physical work to the high school. They are open on Monday and Thursday. They will have office hours and be working just like normal. The other days of the week, probably not. But Monday and Thursday, they will have people there. And if you give them the pile of work and you say, this needs to go to Matthews, they can scan it and email everything they scan to me. That's option two. Option number three, bring it to my house. No lie. Message me on Schoology. I will give you my home address, and you can just come, drop it off on the doorstep, and I will physically grade it that way. But all that work has got to be in by Friday because then we start grading it out. There's all sorts of different things that we need to do for the grading now that it's digital, including there's some possibility that grade things are gonna shift a bit, and we're not entirely sure what that's going to look like or sound like just yet, but it's entirely possible that we may be looking at a different scale than previous. Since your Regents credit and your class credit this year, thanks to our COVID pandemic, is entirely based on your teacher's approval. Basically, if they look at your work, your attendance, and everything and go, yep, no problem, I think they did good, you get credit. If they look at all that and they go, whew, no, then you fail and you don't get credit. And that's what the entire year is going to boil down to now. So, for instance, if you pass, we reach the end, I look at all your stuff and I'm like, yeah, nope, they definitely did their work. They did fine over the course of the year. They deserve their credit. Boom, you're going to get the class credit and you're going to get the Regents test credit. You're just you're just getting those now as long as your teacher approves. And if you don't, then it's twice as bad because now you got to repeat the class and take the Regents like next year. So it's significantly more challenging. But because of that, it means that the grading scheme might change a little bit because basically we just need to give the state a yes or no at the end of the school year for whether or not each student of ours gets credit. Like they're not caring what the grades are at this point. They just want yes or no. So don't be surprised if some of that changes. Monday, We are going to go back to having classes every day. I strongly encourage you folks, message people, get other people to start showing up. This is going to be our new normal now for at least the next 2 weeks. I'm not going to be going over all this stuff again when we get back to class because somebody was like, "Oh, yeah, I didn't do anything." No, guess what? That whole course credit, Regents credit, comes down to what you've done for me. And if you've done nothing during this time frame, it's going to be a hard sell for you to actually pass the year and get credit. So please make sure, get your friends. If they can't make it to the class, fine. YouTube. The link is right here. If I bring this up, make it as big as I can, right here. This link right there at the top, I'm circling it with my mouse. That will take you, if you click on it, directly to my YouTube channel, complete with all the different videos that I have posted and uploaded, all of that. So, nobody has any excuse for not being able to get this done. But starting Monday, into Evolution. Favorite unit, so much neat stuff in there, so many weird and and things that you wouldn't think of, but they actually give us a lot of information. We're going to debunk a couple very common misconceptions. Quite often, people who are opponents of the theory of evolution really like to focus on just a couple of points. They like to focus on, oh, well, evolution takes so long, we've never seen it happen. Lies. We have seen it happen, and I will show you. We have proof. People like to hide behind the idea of, well, it's so long. Not true. We see it happen all the time, real time, hours, minutes, days. We'll go over that. And people like to look back and look at like the fossils and go, well, you're basing all of this off stuff that's in the rocks. And what can you really tell about this stuff that's in the rocks? You might be surprised. We may only find fragments of a skull and a couple of toes. But the information we can get from that is actually really, really substantial. So we'll be going over all of that. We'll be talking more about Darwin's theory of natural selection, descent with modification, his archaic and ye olde term for what we now call evolution. And we'll be looking at some very real world examples where we see exactly how this works. It's going to be fun. I have a lot of interest in this, and I've actually got a couple of days, Wednesday and Friday, that I plan to do a flipped lesson. And what that means is that you guys should go and do stuff before you come and see me. I will be assigning it Tuesday and Thursday as like the homework. And then when you come and see me for class the next day, then I'm going to challenge you on it. And we'll see if you guys really understand the things that you saw, heard, or otherwise worked on. It should be a lot of fun, though. So I hope to see everybody on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, not to mention Friday, at 11 a.m. so that we can keep going on our biology class. Your marking period, third marking period, ends next Friday, and then we're into the fourth. The last one, we won't be returning to the school right now until April 30th. That's 20 days away. So that is basically 1, 2, 3 weeks from yesterday. So we're going to be online for quite a bit of time, and I hope that everyone's ready for it. I am. All right. I'll see everybody soon. Monday, if not before. And remember, any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, please message me on Schoology so I can get back to you ASAP.